We have just arrived back onto the North Coast 500 to show you the best sights that you cannot miss in the northwest part of Scotland. The one question, however, that we keep finding ourselves asking is, where is everyone?
There's no one here. It's so isolated.
That is just paradise.
It's just stunning. And there's nobody here.
Hi, we are Gemma and Campbell, and this big washing machine is our home, Ellie. We've been living on the road now for over 2 years, exploring our bonny home country from the far reaches of the Outer Hebrides to the towering peaks of the Cairngorm Mountains. This week we tour the best sights that there are to see on the very northwest corner of mainland Britain, from the most stunning beaches to the best sweet treats in Scotland. Join us for a North Coast 500 road trip that you have never seen before, and if you're new around here then hit that subscribe button and join the gang. But for now, let's check back in as we head off in search of one of the NC500's most unmissable spots. You've got to come here. If you're in this region, you've got to come here. Hello, can we just get 2 of the hot chocolate chasers, please?
2 of the chasers with 4, yeah?
Yeah, please.
Oh gosh, I can't decide.
Now, is that not just the face of the happiest person in the world?
It smells so good.
Oh dear.
Oh, pure chocolate. Pure delight.
Yeah, they literally drizzle chocolate over the top of it, so it's just melted chocolate. Oh, god damn, that is good.
Let's go drink this with a view. This is literally the most beautiful place in the world, and there is no one here. Like, it is so quiet, and it is just stunning. And there's nobody here. I mean, I thought we were going to come up here and it was going to be busy, but I guess it's not summer holidays yet. It's still really quiet, just soaking it all up, because I love it up here.
Excuse me.
Oh, that one's got a lot far.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness. Excuse me.
Stampede.
Oh god, we love hearts on that.
Look at that. They're a wee chunky monkeys. Run! Oh, that's so cute, man. I love being up in the Highlands when I see that.
So that is our spot there, number 27.
What a view! Oh my god.
This is one of those bucket list campsites that everyone wants to come to, and I think they actually only allow a certain amount of bookings and then it's pretty much walk-in from there, because it is just the perfect view.
So you guys are possibly wondering why we're actually staying on a campsite, because if you've been following us for a while, you know we traditionally prefer to just park up when and where we want to. Well, today was actually the day where we tried to catch the Cape Wrath ferry across to go and stay in the Cuirvig Bothy. That was last weekend's video, which I'm sure is going to be an amazing adventure. So if you've not seen that yet, go and check that out now. But instead we decided just to hang around Durness region, catch the ferry first thing tomorrow morning, and Sango Sands has been on our bucket list for like a very, very long time. It's one of those campsites, every single time I drive past it and go down to Sango Sands Beach, I'm just like, oh my god, that view. And when we pulled in here and they said there was only a couple of spaces left for like non-booking pitches, we were just like, let's do it. It's worth the money. It was £29 for 2 adults and the van on an electric hookup pitch. And it means that we can also make the most of a nice warm shower tonight, tomorrow morning, and leave Ellie completely emptied out, completely topped up, ready for us to get back again after our Cape Wrath adventure. The sky is looking absolutely mad tonight. Look at that cloud. All the way along, straight up to the sunset. And so this here is the Sango Sands viewpoint. You don't actually need to be staying on the campsite if you want to come and check it out. And it's just basically this kind of promenade, like, I guess boardwalk across this central kind of cliff that sits between 2 stunning stretches of beaches. And in my opinion, it's one of the best viewpoints on the north coast, just because of how much it brings you out in front of the waves and you're just surrounded 360 degrees by just stunning scenery. I mean, look at this. Is that not just incredible? Good morning everyone, it's a couple of days later now, and yesterday we just got back from our big Cape Wrath adventure. Seriously, one of the best weekends of my life. If you've not watched that video yet, we released it last weekend, and honestly, if you want to see the true beauty that Scotland has to behold, go and check that out after this video. This morning we just woke up at one of our favourite kind of park ups in the region. It's called Kinlochbervie Harbour, and it's this cute little place, sits right on the water's edge. There's loads of other motorhomes here. It's a donation basis, it's got water, it's got electricity, and it only costs £15 a night, and that's like for everything, so it's such a good place to go and base yourself and explore around this region. Today we're continuing our North Coast 500 adventure. We've got a couple of different spots that we want to take you guys to, but first, what are we doing, babe?
Right, well, yesterday after we got back from Cape Wrath, we did a big wash because it was like seriously needed, but I'm going to try and keep on top of it. We've got our little scrubber bag, which I don't know if you've seen this before or not, but it is really good, and it's really handy for just even washing like your bits of underwear and things, and I'm trying to keep on top of that. So all you do is put your stuff in, fill it with water, bit of soap, roll it up. It's got like a kind of bit in there that you just rub the clothes off of, and voila, they come out and they're clean, they smell fresh, and we just hang it up in the van and they dry. It's so hot, it's like 20 degrees today, so everything's drying really quickly in the van. We've got the fan running, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing just now. I'm gonna get the dishes done, and then we're gonna get out in this sunshine. Goodness! Look at these beauties having a bath! So our first stop today, we are visiting one of our favourite beaches in Scotland, and I feel like we say that every time, but on a day like today, is there anywhere else you would rather be up on the north coast of Scotland on one of these clear blue water beaches? No, there's not. So we're going to stop off, have some lunch here. Again, there's still like hardly anyone around for such good weather and peak season.
So for lunch we are going to go down to Oldshoremore, and it is just like every other typical beach up in the north of Scotland, just white sands, crystal clear water. I can see a couple of people sitting on it, but honestly, that is just paradise. Best bows.
So we've just jumped back into the van to get some work done before we head off on our next stop. It is so hot in here, like honestly we've been sitting with the blinds and the curtains closed just trying to keep out all the sunlight to keep it a little bit cooler in here, but it still just gets very hot and stuffy. But this is where my little Vanlife fan comes in handy, who is actually this video's sponsor, and honestly you can see how much use I've had out of it already. This little thing is saving me right now in this heat. It is brilliant. You just turn it on at the back and then press it here, and you can see there's like a speed, and you can turn the speed all the way up, and it is amazing. So good at keeping me cool.
Yeah, I've got this little neck fan as well, which is like perfect for when I'm video editing. I'm sitting doing the Cape Wrath video just now. Usually I'd have my Portugal fan that I bought there when I was doing solo van life blasting me in the face, but now I can just have this little fan sitting around my neck, delivering a nice cool breeze up my ears, and it's the same as the one Gemma's got. You can rank it all the way up if you're really hot, or you can just put it down nice and low. But I think this would be perfect if we were to go out hiking or whatever, because it's so comfortable, and I think the battery life is on it is really good, so big double thumbs up from me.
And I think this one is perfect. We have a trip to the sun booked soon, and we're going to be going via London, so this is going to save my life on the tube, and I think just living in my handbag this summer because it's so portable and keeps me cool.
I can do an imitation of a man who's feeling
and it seems we've hit a bit of a roadblock.
Oh dear.
I just love that.
Misunderstood. I can go to all the places where the happy people stay, but without you here beside me, I'm an actor on the stage.
Yeah, I've got to say, of all the dangers that I thought about wild swimming would entail, I never really considered the fact that cows might be peeing where I'm swimming. That was the bottom of my list of dangers. Come on, dude, people need to swim in that. How you doing?
Wondering where you are. Give me just a phone call. Let me know that you're okay. I see the curtain coming down for an actor on stage.
And there it is coming into view now. This beach is honestly absolutely stunning, and again, because it is so far out the way, there's never really anybody here, is there?
Nope.
It's always really quiet. We've not passed a single person on our walk so far. And the difference in the weather. I mean, the sun was shining the first time we came out here on the first day, but it was October. It must be about 20 degrees and it's only about 9 AM and it is so warm. Oh wow, that water is amazing. The temptation to go for a swim right now is real, but we really don't have time. We actually have to get back to the van. We want to push on and get onto Handa Island today. So hopefully we'll get in for a swim over there. But I'm glad to just be down here for a walk again. It's just absolutely beautiful here. There's no one here. It's so isolated. So the last time we were out at Sandwood Bay was a couple of years ago, and we came out with plans to stay at the Bothy out here. Now as time went on in the afternoon, the weather was nice, but it was during October. It was getting dark, so we thought safest bet now is just to pitch up our tent. Well, the rain, the wind came in at about 3 in the morning and battered our tent, something awful. So much so that at 4 we were just like, this is horrific, I'm getting no sleep, I feel awful, I think we just need to hike it back to the van. In the pitch black, we nearly had our tent blown away along the beach. It was chaos. We actually found out after that we had COVID and we were just feeling so under the weather. But that was one of those adventures that, as much as at the time we were both just like, oh my gosh, this is awful, it's one hell of a story to tell. That really was an adventure.
Just real quick guys, I wanted to tell you about a very exciting announcement that we have to make. Our brand new North Coast 500 map is almost ready for pre-orders. We have been working so hard behind the scenes to create the most detailed map to the North Coast 500 route that's going to pair in perfectly with our Destination NC500 book, showing you all of the best sites around the route, where to eat and stay, where all the electric vehicle charging points are, where the waste disposal points are, every single bit of detail that you need to plan your very own North Coast 500 adventure. And if you want to get this map for yourself, all you need to do is sign up to our newsletter. I'm going to put a QR code right here. Scan that, join our newsletter, and you'll be one of the first people to know when this map drops. Anyway, let's get back to the North Coast.
So we're just about to jump on a boat to a small little place called Handa Island. It takes about 10-15 minutes to get across on a really small boat. It costs £20 each for a return ticket and it is great over there.
You can step off and just wait for us on the beach.
Yes, thank you.
Come on everybody.
So getting onto the island, we were just actually met with a couple of volunteers who gave us a quick rundown of what we can expect to see all around it. It takes about 3 hours to walk all the way around the actual circuit, probably a bit shorter. If you're actually going to walk quickly. But the point we're going to go to is called the Big Stack, because apparently you can actually go out and see some puffins out there. There's also some seals in the bay down on the southern end, and last week someone actually spotted an orca just off the coast, which is like top of our bucket list. It was really quite interesting though, because as soon as we stepped off the boat they actually made us go through this little mat thing, and he said that was because there's actually no bird flu on the island, and I guess they're just trying to stop that from happening, so it kind of disinfects your feet before you go walking across the island.
You are now in the historic village last inhabited in 1847. Following the potato famine, all of the remaining 64 residents were moved across the Atlantic to Nova Scotia.
Oh.
Interesting. So this is the area here. You can see there's like some village ruins. Imagine that was the view from your village.
It's not bad in the summer, is it?
That is pretty spectacular.
We were also actually told by the lovely tour guides that there's some breeding birds in this region of the island, and they have been known to swoop on people, kind of like the magpies do in Australia. They said when you're walking through here, try and walk with your hand up in the air like this. Gemma's not taking any chances.
No sweets, no swoops please. Sweets, yes please, I'll accept sweets, but no swoops. So we've decided to follow the coast on our walk around, and we've seen a couple of seals out here in the little bay, and even in the distance you You can see the Old Manor store just kind of like sitting in amongst the clouds over there, and over here you've got like the mountain range, which kind of looks made up. Like, it doesn't even look real. There's obviously some kind of low cloud or haze in the sky that's making them just kind of like really like pop. Sit down here, have some lunch. Get a nice view of the birds from here.
Yeah, so we reached the part of the island called the Great Stack. What did you say it was? More people had walked on the moon than have been able to actually climb that from the bottom, because it is apparently so difficult. And I don't even know if that's just because of the thousands of birds that would have something to say about it, because there's hundreds of them, thousands all over the rock face. That is so cool.
It reminds me of being in Alderney.
Yeah.
When we went out to see all the
gannets.
The gannets. Or the gannets all sat out on the stack, didn't they? And we took the boat around. But that's what it reminds me of. It's just that sound of just like so much squawking of birds everywhere.
And we even saw some puffins. Now I'm not sure what makes puffins different to any other bird, but they're just special. You're always happy whenever you see a puffin with its wee orange beak. They look like they're wearing like a tuxedo, don't they?
They're really
so
cute.
fancy.
So smart.
Time to head back to the boat. But first, 3, 2, 1, go! Gemma's not even waiting on the ferry.
And so to round off our trip in the north coast of Scotland, we have come to Invergordon, where we're going to be staying in a rather luxurious accommodation for the next couple of nights. We're staying at the Newmore Highland Pods, and Campbell and I actually parted ways this weekend. Campbell has gone camping with his friends. I went home to Glasgow to try on wedding dresses for the first time, which is very exciting, and I did take some sneaky bits of footage that I'm going to hide away on a hard drive somewhere, and I will show you at some point, I promise. And yeah, we get the train up separately, so I'm here first. Campbell's arriving a little bit later on, so I will show you what it's like. We've got a beautiful balcony area here. We've got some ducks, free-range ducks that are just roaming around, and some chickens over there beside the little barbecue area. And the pod is absolutely lovely. We've got some beautiful flowers here. There is a little welcome pack with some bread and croissants, even some face masks in it. Like, how nice is that? And I'm sure after a night of camping, I know that even I am looking forward to a really comfortable bed, but after Campbell's been away for the weekend, I'm sure he will be too. We have a beautiful bedroom area with what looks like the comfiest bed. I think one of the things that I really love about here as well is that you actually have your own private little gate, so it feels like you're very secluded. Even though there are a couple of pods on either side, it doesn't really feel like that. You just look out onto this beautiful little sort of river area where you can see the little baby ducks floating around, and we've got our hot tub and decking area, and everything just feels very private. It doesn't really feel like there's anyone else here, which is really nice. And also it is west facing, so we are getting this sun coming down in the evening, which is really, really nice at this time of year. Here he comes.
Oh, let's get dinner cooking. I'm starving. Good morning, everyone. Just woken up at these Newmore pods, and this is the first time I've seen them in the daylight. It is so beautiful and peaceful here. Apart from the chickens. But basically, like from our balcony here, we've just got a view of this little kind of man-made pond. And there's like ducks swimming about in it. You can just see the birds in the distance. Very, very peaceful. Oh, good morning, beautiful.
Good morning. How does that look? How's my presentation? I've gone for, well, we had some croissants in our welcome basket, so I've put out some croissants, I got some berries, I've got a nice smoothie.
That looks well good.
Alright.
One thing I really don't understand about when I'm making croissants and I'm trying to put jam in it is why do I rip it in half and make an absolute mess of it when I could just put it on the outside of the croissant?
That seems wrong.
Every time. I know it seems wrong, but I'm just like, it's a perfectly good croissant and I've just butchered it.
I think about it, they do croissant sandwiches. They don't just pile the stuff on top of it, do they? They put it in it.
That's true. There's a lot more politics to croissants than you would actually believe.
Hello. Hi.
What did you say that one's name was?
That one's called Hey Hey. Can't remember the names of the others, but I remember that one being Hey Hey because it's the same as the chicken in Moana.
That's right. I do always think if you're going to have one thing to make an accommodation better, chuck some chickens in and they can roam around, because it's just the best way to wake up in the morning to have one pecking on your door. Oh, what is that you've got there?
Schlur, 10 Prosecco. It's a Monday afternoon, so here you go. The big one.
Beautiful. Oh, that is so lovely and warm. Cheers, baby.
Cheers to a
Very fun month of
Yes.
adventures in Scotland. Oh,
you okay?
promise that was my shorts, not the bubbles. Yeah, this does actually round off our time up in Scotland for now, but
Yeah.
that has been an absolute amazing adventure.
It has been. I think we've just been like living off solar power.
Yeah,
Don't you?
yeah.
We've just been like go 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 go, but we've absolutely loved every second of it. And all of these like really exciting adventures were things that we've been wanting to do for ages. And the weather has just never really been in our favour. And I'm so glad.
So glad we
Yeah.
finally got to do them.
So glad. And this is just the perfect way to round it off. Relaxing my sore legs in the hot tub.
I think, just to give you guys an idea, over the first 2 weeks of June, we have walked over 100 kilometres in terms of hiking or just running or whatever. It's been a busy 2 weeks and a busy month. Basically, our next adventure, we are actually going somewhere very exciting. Where are we going?
We are carrying on the wedding planning venue hunting. We're going to Rhodes this time. I'm really excited because I've actually seen quite a lot of potential venues over there, and we've been chatting with some of them, getting in touch to go and have a little look and see what's what. So we're hoping, I mean, we absolutely loved Kos. We just haven't really found the one yet.
No.
I don't think so. We're going to go to Rhodes, see what we see there. We're not going to be vlogging it though, so if you follow us on Instagram, or even if you don't, go and follow us over there. We'll be keeping up to date on all things.
Yeah. We post daily a lot on there, and especially since we're not vlogging, we'll be putting even more on there. And we are actually going to be filming it for a future little kind of channel series. We're thinking about doing like an entire wedding series. We've been vlogging all of the behind the scenes process of actually planning a destination wedding. So I'd be interested to hear if you guys would be interested in that. Let us know in the comments. But the next thing we will be filming is we are going to Ireland 7th of July, and we're going there for 2 months. It's for our next big Destination Earth Guys project. There's a little hint for yous. And I guess we'll see you guys then. So if you did like this video, guys, please give it a big thumbs up. It just lets us know that you want to see more adventures just like this one. And as always, we'll see you again in the next one.
See ya!